The men's semifinals set for tonight. The Oilers and Kings, 7:30 here in ITV.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Well, Bill Matson has a look ahead to a weather forecast right after this.
Fancy meeting you in here.
Season starts next week.
Aren't you getting too old?
Or maybe sign a long-term lease. Tim Spellacy has the story.
Everyone has driven past the old Strathcona post office on White Avenue, but not many people have seen the inside of the building since it was closed back in 1976. The federal government turned the post office over to the city earlier this year, and it's in bad shape. Pipes have burst because the water wasn't shut off and the heat was shut off. The roof, especially on the main floor. The plaster has peeled off the walls, probably due to frost. There's been some damage caused by vandals. Not a lot, but some. Still, the building is structurally sound and certainly not beyond repair. $500,000 worth of work would likely restore the post office to minimum standards. It's really a beautiful building with large pillars on the main floor and an oak railing along the staircase. A developer could turn this into a great art center, perhaps convert it to retail space, a restaurant, or even a nightclub. The city is now looking for someone to move in.
Trying to be as flexible as possible. We're willing to enter into a long-term lease arrangement, possibly a short-term, or even to sell it under the condition that rehabilitation would occur.
The old Strathcona Foundation is naturally pleased to hear of the city's intentions, although Foundation Administrator John slightly...
Our concern is that nothing will happen. If the city, with their proposal calls that are now going out, can interest a developer or several groups to take it over money and look after the building, we wouldn't have any involvement. We would only become involved if we see the building deteriorating or nothing happening to it. It is the flagship of the foundations or of the Strathcona area from the west side of the commercial sector. So we would like to see something happen rather than a boarded up old building.
Mr. Bourne feels restoration and development of the post overdue, but he doesn't blame the city for the delay.
I don't think the federal government let the building sit empty for so many years without paying any attention to maintenance. The only thing that's been maintained when we were up there, they've had somebody in regularly servicing the clock. I don't know if they changed over yet to regular time again, but the clock does work, and that's the only maintenance that's been done. The city, since it's been just about a year since they've taken possession, so they've moved fairly quickly. We're just concerned that with their proposal system, if nothing happens, the building will continue to deteriorate.
The city has a lot of interest in this project. There's no question that despite its current condition, the post office is an attractive property.
We're trying to emphasize the fact that it is the anchor of a two-block historic zone between 103rd Street and 105th Street. There's over 20 1925 or earlier buildings in this area. Many of the merchants, as well as the old Strathcona Foundation, have actively rehabilitated the buildings, made them into it's an interesting streetscape. A lot of interesting uses are developing in here. And we feel that Old Strathcona is developing into a cosmopolitan area, and this post office could be a real boon to it.
The city is now organizing a national advertising campaign to hopefully attract development proposals for the Strathcona post office. That campaign will be underway within the next week and a half. Tim Spellacy, ITV News.
Buying the old post office at White Avenue and 105 Street. But even if the plan goes ahead and the building is renovated, historical groups will still not be totally pleased.
The German-Canadian Cultural Association is looking for a new home. Monday night it decides whether to spend $1 million buying and renovating the office or to spend that amount on a new building. To be better informed, members toured the post office on the weekend. They found a building that has been closed since 1976 and has suffered extensive water damage due to broken pipes. President Helmut Walter says one of the attractions of the post office is it's in the heart of the area known as Little Germany.
The south side is a preference to our members, yes.
People in favor of a new building don't want to be bothered trying to please historical groups as they build their club. The city took possession of the building a year ago as part of the Canada Place deal. Spokesman Dwayne Gillum would love to be rid of the building, and if the Germans reject it,
we will be stuck with some options. Back to one of the other groups that have demonstrated an interest, or we may have to start over again or board the building up. That'll be a decision of the executive committee, and we're just hopeful that the German group will decide to take it on Monday night.
the old Strathcona Foundation would like to see a proposal that would allow the public more access to the building, but it adds reality is reality. Spokesman Wes Candler says they don't have the money and the Germans do, and the foundation wants to see the building preserved. Steve Hogle, CFRN Eyewitness News.
My friends, I'd just go along with what they'd want to do. Like tonight, they wanted me to go out drinking.